Even the finest cot gives a poor night's rest once we're in the field. Donnellan stretched and twisted in his chair, as if to loosen his shoulders. "I think I will," he said, and he smiled. But Cam saw that it didn't reach his eyes. "Thanks to you both for sitting with me a while. I'd best let you get some rest as well." Donnellan stood and walked across the sitting room to where a guard stood by the door to his bedchamber. He glanced over his shoulder. "Mind that you're careful going about your business. I'll need both of you beside me when we ride for the coast." The door closed behind Donnellan, and the guard resumed his place. "I'm worried about him," Cam remarked quietly. Willem was silent for a moment. "Donnellan drew his first blood on the battlefield when we were still sucking on our mother's teats. Does it surprise you that it gets tiresome after 20-some years? By the whore! I'm wholly sick of every campaign by the end of the first battle, and I haven't seen as much of it as he has." Cam nodded. "I've never met a sane man yet who enjoys battle, even if they love soldiering. I'm just not used to seeing Donnellan look so haggard. Now it seems his dreams are dark. Makes me worried." A man's scream cut off the rest of Cam's words. Cam and Willem jumped to their feet as the guard threw open the door to Donnellan's chamber. "Sweet Jenna," the guard whispered, blanching. Cam and Willem shouldered past him at a dead run and stopped at the foot of the king's bed. 6 stout pikes thrust up through the bed, spanning from one side to the other. Donnellan lay impaled, with one of the spikes protruding from his chest. Blood spread down the king's nightshirt, soaking the bedding, enough blood that Cam was sure the spike had taken Donnellan through the heart. "Get Drayke!" Willem shouted. He grabbed the guard by the shoulders and spun him around, shoving him out the door. "Run, damn it!" He turned back to the king. "Hang on, Donnellan. Drayke will be here in a moment." Donnellan's whole frame shook. His hands opened and closed convulsively, grasping at the covers. The king's eyes were wide with pain and shock, and his mouth opened and closed, gasping for breath. Willem took the king's hand. "Hold on, please. Just hold on." Cam drew his sword and made a thorough inspection of the room. The king's private quarters were large, but by design they offered no easy hiding place. Cam flung open the wardrobe doors but found nothing except dress robes. The garderobe alcove was empty, with an opening too small for even a slender boy to navigate. Then he looked at the high 4-poster bed. The frame was at least 2 feet off the floor, tall enough that 2 steps were required for Donnellan to climb onto the mattress, and it was skirted with heavy tapestry material. When Cam knelt to look under the bed, he caught his breath. "By the crone!" "What?" Cam climbed to his feet. "Someone's rigged a bow contraption beneath the bed. Must have gone off once there was weight on it." Drayke barreled through the doorway, followed by the guard, who seemed close to panic. "Mother and child," Drayke swore under his breath, never breaking stride until he reached Donnellan's side. Cam and Willem melted back along the wall, giving the healer room to work. Drayke was one of the finest battle healers in all of Eisencroft, but by the set of his mouth, Cam could tell that Drayke was worried. "We've got to remove the stake, and the moment we do, he'll start bleeding harder." Drayke's voice was clipped. "Tell us what to do," Willem said, as he and Cam stepped forward. "Can you retract the weapon from below? I'd rather not try to lift him." Cam dropped to his knees. "I think so. It's been bound to the frame with rope. Then, on my mark, with one of you on each side, slice the ropes while I try to staunch the bleeding." Drayke climbed up on the bed and straddled the king's body so that his hands were best positioned above the wound. "On 3. 1, 2, 3. The 2 swords